Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to the class. Please, if you are here with me, please indicate with your favorite emojis. Let me know if you are online. Okay, I can see the emojis are entering the comment box. Wow, that's awesome. I can see Mrs. Obi, that teaches at Federal Government College, Buhari. Wow, I can see Franklin. Franklin, that is at Golden Gate College, Cuba. Wow, I can see Paul, which is at Golden Gate College, also at Cuba. Wow, I can see Naomi, that is at Echo School, Bazango. Wow, the comments are coming up. I can see a lot of emojis that are popping up in the comment box. That's fantastic. So my name is Dike Clements. I am a civic leadership teacher, and also I work with Africa Community Tech Development Center, an NGO that works to improve the mind of young people through education capacity development. And also, I'm a certified reading Wikipedia and a classroom trainer. I've been training teachers on how to use Wikipedia in their classroom as a learning tool. For the purpose of this program, I will be your facilitator and I will be here guiding you so that you will be able to understand what is Wikipedia and how to integrate Wikipedia into your classroom as a learning tool. So you are welcome for the session. On technical issue, as we all know that in Nigeria, internet speed is poor. And also, we always complain about our phone battery not really charged. It's a peculiar issue in this part of the world because of power supply and also internet connectivity. So I want to assure you that that should not discourage you. It should not be an issue as this training is concerned, because I will personally follow you all during this training and after the training to make sure that you did not miss out in any of the topics or the session or whatever that has been discussed or training that has been discussed in this program. I will follow you one-on-one to guide you and also to evaluate your level of understanding during this training. So that should not be an issue in case anybody opt out in the training due to technical issues such as internet or battery problem of your phone. Next slide, please. So you're welcome once again. Get comfortable. This training will start shortly. Now, before this training will start, I want us to do something. I want us to put our mind, have the right frame of mind, to make our mind to be calm. And to do that, I want us to have a deep breath 3 times. And I'll be counting it. Here we go. The first breath, when I say 1, we take the first breath. When I say 2, the second breath. And when I say third, the third breath. It will really help you to relax and have a calm mind as you listen or as you watch in this training. So the first breath goes this way. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I feel good. My nerves have been released. I feel relaxed now. I believe you too, you feel relaxed and we can start the training. Here we go. Welcome once again to the first training session of the Reading Wikipedia in the Classroom program under Module 1, Assessing Information. And this program is brought to you by Wikimedia Foundation, which is a non-profit arm of Wikipedia. Who are we? We need to introduce ourselves. Let us know ourselves. As I said, when I started speaking, I already introduced myself. So I think it's your turn to introduce yourself by typing on the comment section your name, your title, your organization you're coming from, your city, your school, and so on and so forth. So you have the chat box, the comment section to type briefly, type who you are, your name, your title, organization, where you're coming from. To this agenda, on today's agenda, we will focus on the introduction of reading Wikipedia in the classroom program. So that is our focus. That is, we're going to focus by drawing attention on the reading Wikipedia in the classroom, and also to make sure that any questions that bother you, or that you've been noticing any question about Wikipedia, feel free to type your question in the comment box. So today's agenda, the aim, the focus of this training for today, for session 1, is for us to introduce you to the reading Wikipedia in the classroom program, to know what it's all about. Secondly, we want to make sure you understand what is Wikipedia. A lot of us have been using Wikipedia, just simple like text research, internet research through Google. The next page you see is on Wikipedia. But most of us are using Wikipedia. Most of us don't know how Wikipedia works, how to navigate, and how to access information using Wikipedia and all that. So that is the aim of today's training. And also, we'll also be looking at common misconceptions of Wikipedia. You need to know some of the myths, what the wrong thoughts, the wrong belief, things that are not true about Wikipedia. So you should be able to argue against this misconception about Wikipedia. And also, during the session, we're going to have a quick break, like 5 minutes. That this break really enable us to relieve our nerves, maybe take a tea or water, do some stretches, do some aerobic, and come back, renewed with a lot of energy and all that. So we're gonna have quick breaks. And also, we'll also be looking at what are the values, in using Wikipedia. What value does Wikipedia bring into the classroom? Yes, we'll be talking about really Wikipedia in the classroom, but actually, what value, what are the primary benefits, what are the importance? Why should teachers use Wikipedia in the classroom? So today's focus, we'll be looking at the values, which is very important, of using Wikipedia in the classroom. And also, there will be a session for question and answers. You get to ask questions as a training, as I'm facilitating, I'm talking, I'm training you. You should also be writing down your questions in the comment box. At the end of the training, or during the question and answer session, I'll read all your questions and try and answer them. So whatever that bothers you, make sure you type those questions at the comment box. Okay. And also, finally, there will be a wrap up, there will be a conclusion of the session today, and also a final remarks for the sections. And lastly, this training will last about 1 hour, 30 minutes, because this is a live session, and most of the important agenda in this session will be covered. I hope you are following. Next slide. So the indicator or the objectives of this session 1 is that by the end of this session, you'll be able to, 1, understand the dynamics and requirements of the reading Wikipedia in the classroom program. Secondly, you should be able to argue against general misconceptions about Wikipedia. And finally, you should be able to express the merits of Wikipedia as a source of information. So these are the indicators. We are not just coming here to waste our time or to whatever. No, we are coming at the end of the day. You should be able to understand this. These are the indicators that actually you've been trained in session 1. That is, the indicators are understand the dynamics. and the requirement of reading Wikipedia in the classroom program. That's, and you should be able to understand the common misconception about Wikipedia, and also express the benefit, the advantage of Wikipedia as a source of information. Next slide, please. During the session, we'll be communicating using comments in the chat, and also we'll be using Zoom. In our Zoom platform, we have a comment chat. We can make our comments, ask questions, raise hands, and so on and so forth. So, means of communication is through Zoom. Our comments strategy, we'll be using communication channels is Zoom, and in Zoom we have comments session. You can use the chat to make your comment, to ask questions, to raise hands, or to unmute to speak, and so on and so forth. Next slide. Now, participation principle, that is a participation rules. For this session, the aim, the agenda of this session and the objective of this session to be achieved, that is for you to understand and also for you to participate and to listen actively, and also make out the best use of this training. We have general participation principles that every one of us should obey or adhere to. And number one of them is, if we have any doubts, we ask new questions. If you're not clear on certain terms, you're not very clear, sure of something, or you're not following, you don't understand, you have the opportunity to make, to ask or seek out, seek out by asking questions to find out. So that is it. You raise your hands and ask questions. Anything that confuses you, that you don't understand, you have the privilege to ask questions. And secondly, we participate actively and openly. Yes, we advise that anyone that is in this training need to participate fully. We should forget about those things that distract us, wandering thoughts, different kind of distractions, and have an open mind and live the moment and let our focus, our mind be here, contribute, participate, be relevant in this session. Make it lively, make it active, make it fun. That is one of the things the general rules. Everybody should participate. Everybody should have a say. Everybody should seek for clarification and all that. And thirdly, we listen with attention and respect. Yes, we listen. We listen with our ears and our eyes, as I'm clarifying you, guiding you, facilitating this class. I expect you to listen. And also, when one of the participants, your colleagues, is asking questions or seeking clarification, we advise that you listen. I'm also listening, and that's one of the mark of a good leader. You must listen attentively and with respect. There's what we call simple etiquette. That is, maintain that decorum. Respect everybody's opinion. Because all of us see things in a different angle. So everybody's view should be respected. So that's why I say we should listen attentively, and also respect other people's view. And fourthly, we complete assignment on time. It's very important that we complete the assignment on time, because it's one of the requirements to earn a certificate to become a certified trainer in reading Wikipedia in the classroom. So any assignment or any quiz given to you, we expect you to respond on time by doing your assignment on time. And finally, we strive to become supportive, respectful, learning community. Yes, we work in collaboration, and that is one of the signs of 21st century skill: group work, working together, doing assignment together, helping one another to succeed, respecting people's view, not to ridicule them, not to talk down on people, respect people, and should do that with civility, and that etiquette, respect people in this training. Everybody is valued, everybody's opinion is welcome, and you should work as a team to achieve the aim of using Wikipedia as a learning tool in the classroom. Next slide. Getting to know you. Yes, I've said it before. I actually did the introduction, and I believe by now most of you have done introduction by typing your answers in the comments, introducing yourself, getting to know you. Yes. From what school are you from? Please just let us know which school are you from. Are you from Federal Government Buhari? Are you from Cuba, GSS Cuba? Are you from Eco School? Are you from Harvard Secondary School? And what grade level are you teaching? Which subject are you teaching? What class are you teaching? Please, we need your comment in a comment box. Just type it. What brought you to this program? You know, we need to know what brought you to this program, and also what do you expect to learn in this program? At the end of this program, what's your expectations? We'd like to know that. Please use the comment box to type these answers, because they are very, very important to us. Thank you. Next slide, please. Topic 1, the reading Wikipedia in the classroom. Now, I want to welcome you all to topic 1, which is reading Wikipedia in the classroom program. We want to know what it's all about, reading Wikipedia in the classroom. Here we go. Next slide. Why reading Wikipedia in the classroom? That's a question. You know, we want to know, you don't know, but why are we reading Wikipedia in the classroom? It's like a new terminology in the educational field, the educational sector. So let's go. 1, our students are already using Wikipedia and they are consuming information online to make decisions in their academic and personal life. And that's absolutely right, because a lot of young students come to me, you know, they want to do some research on Google, and whenever I help them out with Google research, the next thing they see is Wikipedia, you know, and they use Wikipedia to do their assignments. And when they submit this assignment, they get some mark, but actually they don't know how to make sure that this information are verifiable from a reliable source, but they only know that they just want to get information online. So already they're making use of Wikipedia to consume information online, which helps them to make some decision about the particular topics and all that, you know, and improve their personal life. So why are we reading Wikipedia in the classroom? And that is it. Students using it as a form of to make to consume information online, to make the right decisions in their academic and personal life. Next slide. Next line. When used critically, Wikipedia can be a valuable pedagogical tool to develop 21st century skills. Yes, when Wikipedia is properly used, you know, critically, when it talks about critical thinking, you know, when you combine it with the kind of survey you're doing or the kind of information you're looking for, it improves educational skills. It could be a pedagogical tool to develop 21st century skills. And 21st century skills is a highly sought after skill. And 21st century skills, that's why UNESCO is at the forefront of promoting 21st century skills that has to do with collaboration, critical thinking, research and all that. So it helps to become a tool to promote 21st century skills. So if somebody asks you why reading Wikipedia in classroom, these are the answers, you know, for students used to consume information online. And also when used properly, critically, it promotes the building of 21st century skills among students and teachers. Also, this program will demonstrate how Wikipedia can be leveraged to foster media and information literacy skills. Yes, that's absolutely right. It demonstrates how Wikipedia can be leveraged. Yes, Wikipedia can be incorporated, integrated to foster media and information literacy skills, because Wikipedia belongs to education, and also Wikipedia is an open education resource that use media, digital technology to promote access to education. Also, it is divided in 3 modules. Within Wikipedia is divided into 3 modules that cover different elements and practices behind Wikipedia as they relate to UNESCO media and information literacy framework. I repeat, reading Wikipedia in a classroom is divided in 3 modules that cover the different elements and practices. Take note of my word. I say cover different elements and practices behind Wikipedia as they relate to or connect to UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Framework. We normally call it MIL. MIL framework, MIL. Why reading Wikipedia in the classroom? Our students are already using Wikipedia. Yes, Wikipedia this and all that. Yeah, the next slide, please. Requirement for certificate. If you want to obtain or earn a certificate in this training, there are certain requirements that you must fulfill. It's a must, and here are them. One, you have to participate in the live training sessions. Yes, you have to participate in live training session. Just like if you're here in this training session, you are making a step towards earning a certificate in the reading Wikipedia training program. You must participate in live training and contribute. Participate actively, listen and respect people's and contribute opinion is a requirement. It's very important. And also submit assignment on time. If assignment is given to you, it should be submitted on time, not delayed. And when you submit on time, it shows how serious, how passionate you are concerning this program. And also submit your final assignment by the due dates. If we say the program is ending on the 20th of September, you should be able to submit your assignment before 20th or 20th of September for you to earn a certificate. Now, thank you for listening. I hope we are following. Now, let's go to the Wikipedia basics. That is topic 2, Wikipedia basics, the basis of Wikipedia. Next slide, please. Getting to know you. Now, yes, I would like to know, getting to know you now is not about asking your name or your city and all. Getting to know how conversant or how familiar you are with Wikipedia. So the question is, do you ever remember the first time you encountered Wikipedia? The first time you encountered Wikipedia, how did you feel? How did you see it? Like my own, as a case study, the first time I used Wikipedia, I didn't really understand what it was, but I just saw it as a source of information, a place to gather information. I never knew that I can contribute, I can verify, I can evaluate information online. So that's how I saw it. And that was like decades ago, like 15 years ago. So type your answers in the comments. It's very important that you type your answers in the comments. Second question is, how did you find it? How did you find using Wikipedia the first time you encountered Wikipedia? And thirdly, what did you think of it? How did you value it? How did you see it? Please, I hope you are you are typing your answers in the comment box as you move on. Next slide, please. Now, this is a whole lot of answers from different people. The first cohort, gave this they call it word bank, whatever. People say Wikipedia is for editors, Wikipedia is for research, Wikipedia is for teachers, Wikipedia is for knowledge creation, Wikipedia belongs to education, is for quality, is for movement, information. Wikipedia talks about citation, Wikipedia is a source, Wikipedia is an encyclopedia, it promotes open participation, is for writers, is for publishers, Wikipedia communities. It's for variability, and so on and so forth. These are the things that people talk about Wikipedia. And sincerely, when you look at all these things, Wikipedia does all these things. It promotes collaboration, it improves critical thinking, improves access to education. These are the things that defines or explain about Wikipedia. Next slide, please. What is Wikipedia? So we go into the explanation of Wikipedia. What is Wikipedia? Now let's go. Wikipedia was created on January 15, 2001. It's a free online encyclopedia that strives to share the sum of all knowledge. Yes, it's an online encyclopedia that tend to share the sum of all knowledge. We want to see Wikipedia want to be the first place you start in your quest to search for knowledge online. should be the first starting point. But Wikipedia should not be everything with respect to getting information online. But it's the first place, the first place you stop at getting any information in any area of discipline or in any topic. Now, how is it written? Wikipedia is written collaboratively by large anonymous volunteers who write without pay from all over the world. So they are written all over the world that contributes articles, information. And when we say they are anonymous means behind the scene, they're not seen. These are volunteers, they write without pay, and they collaborate, by in all over the world. They come together to contribute content towards the development of this encyclopedia. Anyone with internet access can add content and improve Wikipedia. Yes, anybody that has internet access can add content and improve Wikipedia, especially when that person has a user account with Wikipedia. We can add content, and improve Wikipedia articles. 1.5 billion unique visitors monthly. It has 1.5 billion unique visitors per month as of March 2020. It means that every month more than 1.5 billion unique visitors visit the Wikipedia page every month. So that was 2020. As of now, it is more than that. So which I need to go and find out how many people visit Wikipedia as at April 2022. Over 65 million articles in more than 300 languages are in Wikipedia. So they have over 54 million articles in more than 200 languages in Wikipedia. It's not a finished project. It's always evolving. It's an ongoing. It's a continuous work. So people are contributing content on daily basis. So it is not a one-way thing. It's not static. It's dynamic. It's keep improving. Yeah. Now let's look at the common misconceptions about Wikipedia. Now, the first misconception about using Wikipedia is anyone can add their opinion to Wikipedia and claim it is a fact. Claim it as facts. Yes, but that is wrong. Opinions are not allowed on Wikipedia. Yes, your opinion are not allowed in Wikipedia. What gets included in your Wikipedia are articles that are backed by reliable secondary sources. Yes, it's the articles that are supported, that are permitted in Wikipedia must be verifiable, must be reliable, must from a known source that has been published. These are the things that are allowed. So don't think that's your opinion, because your opinion can be biased. So it should be something that has been verified. Yes, that is supported or backed up by secondary sources. If someone adds content that doesn't follow this rule, it should be removed by Wikipedia editors. That's how it is. So now let's look at the second misconception about Wikipedia. The editorial control of Wikipedia is left-leaning, progressive, and liberal. Now, yeah, there's what they call the far left or the far right, the liberals, the Democrat, whatever, those who have a liberal view about life and those who are conservative, So they just believe that Wikipedia is being promoted or being controlled by the left, those who have a liberal minds, the far left or whatever, But that is not the case. It's absolutely wrong, because no single organization has editorial control over Wikipedia. Wikipedia is entirely edited by volunteers, and disputes are addressed through open dialogue on the platform. Yes, it's very important that you know this, that editorial control of Wikipedia is neutral. No single organization has editorial control over Wikipedia. Wikipedia is completely edited by volunteers, and any disputes are addressed through open dialogue on the platform. And let's look at the third discussion about Wikipedia. Now, the third misconception about Wikipedia is edits done to Wikipedia article cannot be reversed, but that's not the case, because Wikipedia articles are dynamic, they are evolving, they are continuous, they keep changing, they are continuously improved. New edits can be deleted or reversed, or old edits can be restored if necessary. And who are the people that are doing this? The community of editors, who are volunteers, who volunteer their time to to monitor the kind of articles that have been that are being um, inserted in Wikipedia, so to say. So the last misconception about Wikipedia makes students lazy. They are more likely to commit plagiarism. And this somehow true, but it's not true, because what is plagiarism? Taking somebody's work, word to word verbatism, just carry the person's work without any reference. You stole somebody's work and make it as your own. That's plagiarism. And when students behave this way, carry somebody's work, it makes them to be dull. They will not be critical. They will not be able to evaluate the source of information, whether the information is correct. They cannot compare with their existing material or textbooks. So that's what people believe, that, oh, Wikipedia makes students lazy, but that's not the case. And when Wikipedia is properly introduced and explained to students or teachers, Wikipedia actually empowers students to do self-directed research using the encyclopedia as a starting point. It can facilitate the development of key 21st century skills that prevent students from committing plagiarism. I think you all know what is plagiarism, as I said. So it doesn't make students lazy. It's only when it's not properly introduced or students were not properly guided that students may become lazy. So introducing this in a classroom, teachers need to properly guide students and explain it properly to students, so that it will help them to build key 21st century skills that will help them become a high-flying student. Now let's take a quick break. As I said, when I started the introduction, I said when I was talking about the agendas and all that, I said we're going to have a quick break. So in the next 5 minutes, we're going to stand up, do some stretch, bend our waist, maybe wave our hands, take some walk, and now you have your comment section. You can leave some questions if you have any question that bothers you, type your questions on the chat. I'll be looking at it. Now, if you want to take water, whatever, tea break, whatever you want to take, or snacks, take your favorite snacks. So in the next 5 minutes, we'll get back to you. We continue with the class. Okay, welcome back. I hope we are doing well. For me, I got a lot of energy after taking some water and stretching myself. I'm back for the training. Now let's look at topic 3. The value of Wikipedia in the classroom. The value of Wikipedia. What are the value of Wikipedia in the classroom? As a teacher, I need to know the value, the benefit, the impact of Wikipedia in the classroom. So let's go. Getting to know you, my student can use Wikipedia to do what? Please type your answers in the comments. Secondly, when my students use Wikipedia, they should always keep in mind that words. Yes, type your answers in the comments. Yes. Yeah, next slide. The value of Wikipedia in the classroom. Wikipedia cites reliable sources. So these are the values. Keep it in mind. It's always cites reliable sources that are dependable. So if your students are using Wikipedia, when they're using it, they should know that they're using sources that are reliable, that are verifiable. So these are the value of Wikipedia in the classroom. Secondly, also Wikipedia editors identify their work. The editors, their work is to identify, evaluate, and cite reliable sources that enrich their articles. So it's the work of the editor to identify, evaluate, and cite reliable sources that enrich the articles. Yes, that's their work. And also, Wikipedia strives to be unbiased. It's not biased, it's neutral. That is it. So it's not about your opinion. It's have to be, they are objective about the articles. Wikipedia is edited by both sides of the argument, those in favor, those in against. So that's it. And also, one thing about Wikipedia is the fact that Wikipedia is up to date on daily basis. They are always improving on Wikipedia. It's dynamic. Most of the information there are verifiable. Wikipedia has more editors than any other information source. Yes, they have millions of thousands of editors than any other information source out there. The value of Wikipedia in the classroom. Wikipedia is already being used by educators around the world to foster digital skills, critical thinking, research skills, and reach a variety of learning goals and all that. So that is very important. So these are the values of Wikipedia in the classroom. Now, as I said earlier on, there will be a session for question and answers. Now let's review some of the questions we got on the comments and add more questions if you want. Keep the question, the conversation going. So welcome any other question that is bothering you. If you have anything you want to ask, type it. Type your question in the comment box. So as I'm reviewing the question, and I'll be answering. Now, having answered all the questions you type on the chat box, and I believe all of us, everyone here, all the teachers here that participated, the answers given to you, you have a clearer view, you have a better understanding about using Wikipedia in the classroom, the value of Wikipedia, common misconceptions about Wikipedia. I hope we've answered your questions. Any other thing you want to ask? Now, moving on, let's do a quick recap of some of the topics we've learned about today. Now, read the following statement and write your answers in the comments. We said read the following question and write your answer in the comments. The question is, the reading Wikipedia in the classroom program contains 5 learning models. So I want each of you to type true or false before I move to the next slide. I hope you've done that. Okay, let's see the answer. So it's false. It contains 3 models. So reading Wikipedia in the classroom program contains 3 models, not 5 models. So the next question is, there are Wikipedia articles written by volunteers from that country. So pick your answer. Is it true or false? From now, the she said it's written by volunteers from all over the world. Is that true? False. It's true. It's correct. Wikipedia is always remove non-factual information. Now, if I add my personal opinions to Wikipedia article without citing any source, it will stay on Wikipedia forever. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Need to go back to the next previous slide. Yes, that's correct. If I add, the question is, if I add my personal opinions to a Wikipedia article without citing any source, it will stay on Wikipedia forever. Will it stay in Wikipedia forever if I put my own opinion without giving any sources, references? Will it stay there forever or will it be deleted? True or false? False. It will be deleted and false. That's the answer. I hope you type your answer because I'll be checking the comment box. These are some of your assignments, your quiz. So Wikipedia is always remove non-factual information. It's correct. Now, when properly introduced and explained, Wikipedia can facilitate the development of key transferable skills. Is that true or false? When you properly introduce Wikipedia to students, teachers, it can promote the development of key transferable skills. True or false? I'm waiting. We only have 1 minute for you to type your answer before I move to the next slide. It can strengthen research skills, critical thinking, and excellent collaboration. It's correct. Oh, congratulations. You made it. You made it to the final session. Thank God, I'm grateful for you because you're able to stay to the end of the session, and we have reached the end of the first training session of the reading given in the classroom. Thank you, you made it. Congratulations. And I believe what I've explained or using the model, you understand them and have a better understanding of why we use Wikipedia in the classroom, common misconception about using Wikipedia in the classroom, and all that. So the next step. So your next step, what's the next thing we expect you to do is to start working on your reading Wikipedia in the classroom with the One Teacher's Guide. If you don't have access to the book, I'll make sure we send the PDF copy, soft copy, or we'll give you a hard copy when we print it out to you so that you can start reading ahead before the next second session. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening. And I will keep in touch with you on our WhatsApp group on a weekly WhatsApp training. Thank you for listening. Bye. Until we meet again.